It's about 5 minutes to 3 p.m. And I am feeling better today. Swollen. Yesterday was a really bad flare day, and I still am not feeling too awfully great today, but I'd rather be doing something than laying somewhere and just feeling crappy, so I'm getting up and doing something. So what I want to do today is I'm not going to use the legs on these when I put them in the little side grave things, but I'm going to use the legs while I decorate them just so they stand up. So today, if you haven't guessed, what we're doing is I'm going to put together the decorations that we're going to be able to swap out for fall, Thanksgiving, Christmas. Heck, we might even make them go through Valentine's Day, and then we'll take them out and put spring flowers in the spring. I'm just looking for something that I can use that's going to be cute and fun, and we can replace easily and augment easily, so that during the winter, when we want to do something nice to Granny and Papa's graves, we are not spending a whole bunch of money on new flowers, but we're not spending a whole bunch of time either running out there and freezing our honeys off, putting stuff on the graves. Hi, Sav. How you doing? Yesterday was a really bad day for me. I had a really bad flare day. So yesterday was not a good day for me. And I'm doing better today. The swellen's going down, and I'm beginning to feel better. I feel just bad enough or good enough to feel bad, or bad enough to feel good. I don't know, however you want to think about it. But I thought, well, I can sit. Yesterday, my hands were not working. I was not even speaking clearly yesterday. Gippy Guppy has officially moved on with a new group of deer. They came picking around for a few days. He decided, oh, that's what I am, and he has followed them off. And I've not seen any sign that he has met any demise, so he's still with them. I hope to see him come back through with them at some point later on in the year, but right now the rut's fixing to start, and so I think he's found a family group where he'll be safe. And so he's not been back in several days, but he followed off a bunch of deer that kind of filtered through. So at least I'm like, okay, at least he knows he's a deer again. That's good. So he's gone on, and we're going to kind of keep an eye out for him, but we think he's probably found a pretty decent group to run with. This is not a really heavily hunted area over here, so we think he'll do pretty good. Okay, I'm going to take 2 of these Dollar Tree Christmas trees, and I'm going to wire them together. And that's just to make it fluffier and to give me more leaves and stems to decorate. And it also makes the base thicker, and that helps it kind of stick into. You can take those fully off and you have that. It kind of helps it stick into the flower holder a little bit easier. But keep these because you never know when you might need to use them on something else to make something. I'm making the funeral arrangements for Granny and Papa's graves, Gypsy. And I'm going to wire these together real good. I buried my scissors. I had my scissors just ready to go in my hand. I've got 15,000 bunches of flowers, fall ribbon, fall bows. I mean, it's kind of taken over the table. My back is very sore today. But I had my scissors just a minute ago, and now I lost them. I have pumpkins, too. I have a little bit of everything. I have bows and pumpkins and cattails. And where did I put my scissors? I just had them in my hand. Y'all ever do this to yourself? Please tell me I'm not the only one. But what I'm going to do is wire these together so that they take up more room and they're thicker and look a little bit more plush so that they'll weather a little bit better. But I also picked up, I just had a feeling the other day when I had to pick up my B12 complex. I just had a feeling that I needed to go buy the thrift shop, and I was like, why? I don't feel like going by the thrift shop. Why do I have this pull to go by the thrift shop? Well, I walked in and I was hoping I could find more stuff to wrap in here to make these thicker, and I found a whole garland that I can tear apart to make these thicker. And I thought, when would that have ever happened? So, guess that's why I felt I needed to go to the thrift shop. Y'all, I had my scissors right here in my hand. Let me find them. Oh, gosh. Oh, there they are. They're under a piece of styrofoam. I hid them in plain sight because I'm talented. But, yeah, I'm not doing as bad as I was yesterday, but I do not feel well. So, this is probably going to be my only activity today besides my stretches. My stretches are important. I've done my stretches. But this is probably going to be my only activity today because I need to get these done. And I'm trying to start moving a little bit to prepare because I'm really wanting to go with my husband this weekend. But y'all, if I don't feel better by Saturday, I will not be going. I'm not gonna overdo my body and cause a big massive issue. It's my fear is that I'll set myself back overdoing it. So if I don't feel better than I do today, on Saturday morning I won't be going. And it was going to be my favorite event because it's a true heritage festival, and it's got all the people that come and do all the exhibition stuff. They'll have sheep shearing and people spinning stuff, and probably people making molasses. And it's one of my favorite events to go to. And it's for a local school. Everything raised goes toward the local school and the community. And I really want to go, but if I don't feel any better, I will not go. So this is my first really icky moment in about 8 weeks, I guess, 8 or 9 weeks. I mean, I've had some days where I've not felt grand, but this was my first truly shut me down, send me to bed, and make me kind of fear I was going into a massive flare. I was scared, legitimately scared yesterday and crying. You can ask my husband, because I had not had such a rough day. My back hurts. I had not had such a rough day in so long, but I didn't know what was fixing to hit me between the eyes, and I was terrified. And so I had to lay down and calm myself down. And I reported everything to my nurse to let her know I'm going downhill. I don't know how far down the hill I'm going to go. And I just stayed in bed yesterday and rested because I was useless yesterday. I was useless. My mouth would not work. I was stumbling across all my words. It was not a pretty day. Now, I don't think I'm going to need to fill any of this in yet because I've got so many things to go in here to decorate for the fall season. So I'm going to save the extra garland to fill as the weather kind of makes these kind of shrink and dry up because I have got so much stuff to go on these because I don't know how to do anything slightly. I do everything way overkill. So I got matching bows for Granny and Papa's grave sides, and then I got a different color for Dwayne's. And I think I'm going to have enough left over to make that little Charlie guy, whoever he is. I don't know who he is. He's been dead since 1938. That just hurt me to see that nobody had been there in so long. I think I've got enough left over to make him something as well. Now, a lot of this I'm going to wire on and not use a lot of glue because I want to be able to take it off and switch out when the seasons change. So I'm going to wire on these top ribbons to the very tippy tops of the trees. And I want to be able to change these out. And then even if they last good, take them up, fluff them, maybe revamp them, and use them again next year. Something I can put in the storage shed and pull out again if I need to. So I'm going to wire these up there, and I'm going to add the smallest dab of glue to keep them opposite of each other so they won't be twirling in the wind. But isn't this the cutest little bows? I love plaid anything. I'm a plaid person. I thought these were terribly adorable. So from either side of the grave, you're going to see the same thing. You're going to see decoration. So I'm going to add just enough just enough glue there to hold them little suckers together. I'm not going to overdo it because I want to be able to dismantle this and turn it into something for Christmas, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. Thanksgiving will be easy because I can kind of add to. Christmas, I'll have to kind of remove some stuff. Hi, Ashley. So, I'm hoping to feel better and to have video for y'all of the Saturday event because it is really a unique event. So let's all pray that I get to feeling better and can hack it. It's just like 45 minutes. It's actually right across from my old Justice Center I used to work at in one of the counties. And I'm going to put out, if I'm able to go, I'm going to put out APB, an All Points Bulletin. Then I'm going to be in the area if anybody wants to come see me because I have a lot of people that want to see me, but, you know, it's about an hour between us, and so not a lot of people, you know, not everybody can just stop their lives and come visit me an hour away because they want to. So I'm going to put out a little APB. David said I needed to put out a bolo. Be on the lookout. But I'm hoping to go so that I can be there in case any of my caseload want to visit. And yesterday when I was feeling so bad, it was so strange because I was feeling so bad. And everybody was checking on me. Gypsy was checking on me. Sabrina was checking on me. Kim was checking on me. Oh, and if Leba Katz watches this, I got my seeds. So I've got my seeds that both of them safely put up. And I'll be getting yours out the first day I can make it to the post office. I ate something that did not. I don't know where that came from. Probably glue. But I was just kind of trying to pass the time, but I was hurting well, and so it was just hard to pass the time. And lo and behold, my messenger phone that is not working very well at all. My messenger, nothing is working very well. My internet, my cell stuff, my data, nothing is. It boggles my mind because they keep putting up phone towers, but there ain't no signal getting any better. What y'all up to? It made me kind of take a second look at it when it started ringing, and it was one of my parolees was calling to check on me, and he was like, I just feel like I needed to call and check on you. I was like, oh, yeah, I'm having a rough day. So that was a good distraction. Don't eat glue. I think they taught me that in kindergarten, but I think I just got a piece of it in my mouth somehow. I don't know how I did that. I'm sticking this in the ribbons, in the ribbon holder, so that it will stand up while I'm here online with y'all. It might stand up. It has a mind of its own. Okay, so what I got some of these pretty little, I call them rooster combs and rooster tails. Then I got some cattail looking things, and then like burly looking things. Stand up here, Bubba. And then these are my favorite because they've got like feathery looking things. Listen, if you're gonna do something, do it well. And then I got these little peachy pumpkins, but I also got the sparkly pumpkin. So we're gonna have like a whole range of color schemes on here. And y'all know me, more is more. So I'm gonna have to edit so that my mother does not go up there and take them apart. Take them off and be like, Elizabeth. Refinement is not something I'm good at, okay? We all know that. I'm just happy to be up and sitting upright this morning. I'm also waiting on my FedEx man because as of right now, we're still doing grocery deliveries. But if I keep doing well, that is something that I want to stop because that's another walking time that I can add into my physical therapy routine, and then I can get points for on my physical therapy. And so I'm and yesterday scared me, but I'm just gonna say, hey, it's this weather because we've had some monster storms roam through this morning, and I'm bouncing back fairly quickly. I'm really sore today, but I'm bouncing back fairly quickly, so I'm not gonna let it scare me too much. I'm gonna hang in there. Oh my gosh, your high school went on lockdown. And they didn't put out any information. There wasn't like a phone tree initiated and messages sent out. That's so scary. Gypsy, I do too, because I was just getting to where I was making plans, where I would solidify plans. But, this David's like, don't freak out too much. It's your first bad day in several weeks. You've been doing really good. And I've been doing really good. So I'm trying not to read too much into it. But y'all, it scared me. Yesterday scared me because it hit me so quickly. Like I didn't feel good Monday night and Monday afternoon. I knew my legs were getting gummy on me. And I knew I just did not feel good. And I know there was weather coming through and I could feel barometric pressure, just like somebody sitting like sandbags on me. That's what it feels like. And so I felt weighted down all Sunday afternoon and night. And then I woke up Monday morning and I was on like a 3-second delay with my left side of my body. And I was like, oh no. Well, I got to moving a little bit better and I made David's lunch for him to take to work and stuff. And I thought, okay, I'm going to get up and move and work this out. No, that is not what happens. It stuck with me. And I had the roughest afternoon and just went downhill, started to swell really bad, and was kind of freaking out a little bit because I had not swelled that quickly. And it was like the night that my hands and legs they stopped working basically, and I was left feeling like a baked potato, just kind of sitting there. And I was afraid that was what I was going for. So we alerted Kim. She was on call for me yesterday in case something happened. And it was just a really rough day. But I got through yesterday and had enough distractions from friends and the internet, thank God, that I stayed in bed basically all day. And I could feel the swelling start to give early, like around midnight. It started to really reduce. My hands were starting to reduce before then, but my legs were starting to reduce around midnight. And I woke up feeling much less swollen, even though I'm still puffy, but I'm much less swollen. But I am sore because I had a few muscle areas try to freeze on me. And so that's been I dropped things. I can't bend. Oh, Lord. Ow. That was much slower than normal. Colin threat. Stupid people ruin the world for the rest of the good people, and I'm getting kind of tired of it. I'm getting kind of tired of listening about New York City making all these new rules that never existed, and I'm getting tired of people thinking that just because they have a viewpoint, no one else is allowed to have another one. I'm getting tired of not being able to have dialogue. And I'm here to tell you, last Saturday when I got out to the event, the bicentennial event, which was great, there were more people that are concerned and angry about the way the world's going than they are happy. But if you watch MSNBC or CNN or any of those other stupid networks, I'm sorry, I even think OAN and Newsmax been kind of stupid lately. I'm going to give them all a special ed award. But if you watch them, you would think that this is like a Mean Girls club or something, that this is normal. Yeah, the storms kind of hit here and kind of kept building and kind of moving, but they've moved on out now, and I feel a little bit better. And if our news media acts like 12-year-olds, what are we supposed to expect society to act like? If the paid professionals that are supposed to notify us about the important things in the world are acting like 12-year-olds, what are we supposed to expect the rest of society to act like? Because, I just burnt my finger. Okay, well, we're going to put this one on sideways. Thank you. It's kind of like, we learn through imitation a lot in society, especially the younger generations. They learn through imitation. And there's nothing good out there to imitate anymore. And, and they make it sound like nobody cares and that this is the new norm. But if you go out into society, people care. And they don't want it to be the new norm. And so it's frustrating that nobody is telling the truth. Nobody's telling the truth. And I'm sorry, but a summary judgment on a civil case that should, if it's that big of a case, gone through criminal court, but still, in any case, should have had a trial date and discovery. Y'all, if that can happen to someone that rich and that wealthy with that many attorneys, the rest of American people are screwed. And I'm not talking about just, Flathead. I'm talking about Phillips and all the other Allen wrenches and all together. We're screwed. Screwed. And nobody's happy. If you talk to normal civilization, nobody's happy about it, but no one will speak out. They'll talk to you in person, but they won't talk about it anywhere else. I'm trying to get enough fluid in me so my body will let go of the rest of the fluid so I can maybe feel like a normal person tomorrow. Well, a normal version of me. But I was really irritated last night because I worked in the legal field. That is unheard of. That is basically illegal in itself. And I was just like, who the heck does this woman think she is? Well, we know who she thinks she is. She ran on the promise of going after him. So we know who she thinks she is. She thinks she's the big dog on the block. But it's just like, how do we look at our kids and say, yep, this is the world that I gave you, when nobody's standing up and saying, what the crap? And sometimes I stand up and say, what the crap? And I know you get tired of me talking about it, but we need to have more people openly divulge how they feel, because there is more than just this one viewpoint that's being expressed. And we're going to have to learn how to talk. Politeness kind of went out the window about 3.5 years ago. We're going to have some momentous debates, and clarify our position on where this world is going. I'm just decorating this tree with leaves and flowers, as you can see. But nobody wants to do anything about it. Yeah, and they only report on the negative things because they want to keep you in a negative, fearful mindset, because then, you just come back for more because, it's just havoc, and sadly people are drawn toward drama. So they know they've got you in their grasp when you keep coming back. And then you go, like, I'm watching stuff, and I'm watching people report on legal stuff on other, like, independent channels. And then you go to MSNBC, and they're saying stuff that is clearly fictional. But that is what, like, 68 to 80% of the population rely on. And they're getting fictional information. Fictional. And I'm sitting here going, you're not even, go read the annotated code for your state. Go read the civil suit standards and what you have to prove and how this is actually supposed to go. And can we, at least think that maybe society has enough brains to go and research? No, because we Google everything. So we don't research. We just want to make a point and run off. But it's, life is not a karate match where one touch, 1 point, and then, draw you in. Life is one of those things where it's a daily struggle. I'm going to make such a mess that I'm going to have to clean up. That's okay. Life is an event where it's a daily struggle to keep things on the right path. And our leaders are so on the wrong path. And they're tearing, and to dissolve someone's entire business acumen in a state that he basically salvaged. New York was dying until Trump went in there and did that. I mean, at least have some respect for the man that kept your city alive when it was on its deathbed. You know, I mean, New York's been kind of the Sodom and Gomorrah of the USA anyway. But, I mean, it was really bad there for a while. It was horribly, you know, and the mafia issues that were there. And, you know, and I'm sorry, but to take a mugshot of New York's mayor that cleared the mafia issues in New York over something that is basically not even an issue, and it's just like, oh, but we've got video. Where did I put the rest of that flour? We've got video and phone records and wire transfers with our president's address of where the money went to his house from different countries. But no, he didn't do anything wrong. We're not even gonna look into it. It's not worth our time. No, we're busy tearing this man down that keeps our city afloat. What are you gonna do when you lose his business taxes and his feedback? Because he pays a whole heck of a lot. Like, if anybody read his tax assessment, he pays a whole heck of a lot in taxes, and the majority of it goes through New York, and everything else in the other states is kind of like a foreign entity. That's how he runs his business. And I'm sorry if you think he runs his business wrong, congressmen and women and judges and DAs, then why do you have those rules and loopholes in your state? Take care of that, idiots. You know, it's just like, he's getting away with it better than us, so we need to shut him down. You know, and yeah, Trump may have taken advantage of business laws in the area. But guess who put those business laws in practice? Mother freaking Congress. So it's like, who you gonna yell at? I mean, you did it to yourself, Congress, you dumb bunch of idiots. You know? I just call it like I see it, y'all. I'm sorry. I just call it like I see it. I mean, how does Nancy Pelosi end up being worth hundreds of millions of dollars when she makes like $180,000 a year? Oh, but we don't care about that. No, we don't care about that. You know, and it's just like, where are we going to put the magnifying glass next? I guarantee you it ain't going to be on Congress. It's going to be on the American people. And we better be prepared, because they ain't going to be polite about it. Oh, the wildflower honey's good. Good. I was wondering. I wonder which you would prefer, the sourwood or the wildflower. That's why I got when I found the other little jar, I was like, we got to try this too. So, but I mean, if you get out there and really talk with people, real everyday people, you'll hear a completely different story than what the news media is trying to broadcast. And I wish that more people, instead of just talking amongst themselves, would put themselves on platforms like this, like Brighteon, like Odyssey, like Rumble, and start speaking your mind. The government does not know we're aggravated until we say something. Just for the record, I'm aggravated. This is not the world I want my children to inherit. This is not the world I want my grandbabies to inherit. And I'm just really disenchanted with everyone. Hey, Cindy. Well, somebody said with the ruling, I dozed through Timcast last night. I dozed through Timcast a lot. I like some of Timcast stuff, and then sometimes I just want to smack them on the back of the head and be like, you idiot. But you have to I have to challenge myself, so I watch a whole lot of everything. But I dozed through Timcast, and they had a guy from Great Britain on there last night. Hang on. And he said, with the ruling in New York, a summary judgment where the lawyers didn't even get to go in and argue this. The prosecution team wrote this little blurb, and the judge said, oh, no, we don't need to go to court on that. Summary judgment approved. He must dissolve his businesses. He didn't even get a day in court, y'all. And that's a powerful man. So what do we think that means for the rest of us little poducks? I give you a hint. It don't mean nothing good. it don't mean a darn thing good for nobody. So we're going to have to start making some noise. And I'm not talking about being mean or belligerent, but we're going to have to start making our voices be heard again, because America cannot become just a one perspective nation. That's not what America was ever created to be. America was created to hang on to kind of everyone's perspective, and then smush them all together and come up with the, what's good for everyone, the best for everyone, and it's not been that in, a while, and we need to get back to that. And it's going to take voices being heard and people being upset, and it's going to take truth about technology and about resources and about things they're doing with all of the technology these days. And they can't expect us to think that they've had the same technology that they created the internet from since the 60s, and they've not done anything else with it. It's just sat there, and this is all they've done with it, and they've not in any way changed that to where they could use that against the people. No, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Oh, and did anyone hear about Trudeau's plane landing in India? Now, I read a lot of India newspapers and stuff like that, because they don't really edit themselves. I like India because they just say it. That's the only thing I like about India. But I do like India because they will just flat blank say it. Just be like, we don't like you. They told Bill Gates, don't you dare come back. I like India. They kind of stick it sometimes when it needs to be stuck. And so when Justin Trudeau's plane landed for the G27 summit, did you know that now it's come out? This is starting to look pretty, y'all. It's starting to get a lot of colors on it. Did you know that the drug-sniffing dogs hit on his plane? And if you read a lot of the news, it is suggested in the India news that his plane was full of cocaine. Now, that is what the news articles are suggesting. And I'm just reporting on what the news articles are suggesting. But isn't that something? Isn't that something? Isn't it weird how we're starting to see this irreverent and almost criminogenic behavior in all of our politicians? Like all of them. And all of a sudden, at the same time, our law is starting to be bent. Now, I told you all many months ago, they're starting to change their vocabulary, because if you change the vocabulary, then you can change the meaning of the law, and when you take away the rule of law, you have then killed the nation. And I know many of you remember me saying that, because I fessed and harped on it for a long time. Sorry. I just, I get stuck on stuff sometimes. That's what's going on. Our law is nothing now. Our law means nothing now. If we've reverted to summary judgments with it, which is completely against our judicial system and the way that our whole judicial branch was built to represent the people, how do we get back from that? How do we come back from that? I don't think we can. I seriously just don't think we can. And it's sad, but at the same time, I mean, what did we expect? Allowing people to run around and act like this. I like this, but I don't know if it's really going to go. But I think it's just flipping adorable. I think my mother would probably go, that's a bit much. But I think it's so pretty that she would go, it's a bit much. I have to think of Mom when I do this. Let's see. Whoop. I'm pushing buttons I shouldn't be pushing, because I got glue on my fingers. So, but that's just where I am. I've just been kind of in this very thoughtful place the last few days. I guess maybe because I felt a flare coming on, and I always go inward and become an introvert and begin challenging my own thoughts, because I know I'm going to be stuck with them in bed for a few days. So I challenge myself, and I start asking myself hard questions, because if I don't ask myself the hard questions, then why should anyone believe what I believe? Why should they listen to what I believe? But, you know, you'll hear all these people run around saying, you know, now I did a lot of real estate law in college because when I had extra classes, I would take law classes. I wouldn't take the easy classes. And my advisors got really mad at me because they were like, take easy classes to keep your GPA up. This lady doesn't need to take easy classes to keep her GPA up. This lady's smart. That made me so mad when they would say stuff like that. I was like, my GPA is going to be fine. So I would take real estate law and stuff like that. Well, in real estate law, when you have a business that brings in money and you're basically have to kind of estimate the worth of it, you have to estimate like a 10-year forward momentum of profit, potential profit. And yeah, you're probably going to be way off in some ways. Yeah, because you may not end up something like what happened 3 years ago may happen. And you may be way off your profit margin that you thought you were going to be on. But that's how you estimate the potential of certain properties. It's not just like a home that is capable of being a home dwelling and that's it. It is a business that has many more capabilities and many more options. And so that you have to estimate it as a potential profit margin and not just, you know, its structure worth. And so all these people, especially the Kaczynski boys, bless their little hearts, Lord love them, bless their little hearts. I think their mama dropped them when they was little. Bless their little hearts, they're twins, bless their little hearts. They don't have a clue in the world. But they think that it's, you know, it's just the property worth. No, you've got to go by profits and earning margins as well, because that's a business. When you're selling a business, you're selling an earning. You're selling a consumer list. You're selling a potential earnings. You're selling, you know, I mean, it's everything. It's the mortar, the land, the potential, the customer list, and possible, like a 10-year possible future margin gap. And it's like, come on, people, let's look at this right. You know, let's stop trying to punish this man for having the wherewithal to challenge what is going on in our nation. Let's stop trying to punish him, and let's stop thinking, you know, of ways to revamp U.S. law, because y'all, if they can do it to him, we're all screwed. If they can do it to him, we are all foobarred. And that is my biggest thing is he is the preliminary, he is the precursor, he is the test to what they're going to try on us. And I don't think many people are thinking that way, and I think we probably need more people to be thinking that way, because that is exactly what is going on. He is the precursor test to how they're going to be treating us in about 3 to 5 years, if not less. So I just want people to wake up and start looking at this. I mean, you say, oh, the government's never done anything wrong. Really, over 37 times they have been found guilty of doing tests on society or civilians that were inappropriate, and that they got in a lot of trouble for. Our nation's history is there between the 50s and the 80s was pretty bad. And I hate to say it, I have a master's in psychology, but the one thing, the biggest thing I learned with my master's in psychology is that our government has used psychology to do far more wrong than right. Okay, so now I've got the base formation down. I've got the bows and the flowers and the big tendril sticking out. And now I'm going to add just a couple of sparkly pumpkins. Again, because my mother would completely edit this. So I have to kind of think about how Mom would look at this and go, okay, yeah, I'll tone it down. So, but I am going to try to add these where they will be seen. I do want them to be seen. But I also need to add them where I can affix them well. And so that they will stay, so I can put stuff to them so that they will be stuck until I come and take them apart. So we're just going to put a couple of sparkly pumpkins. And I like having all the different oranges, all the different gradients in there. I like that a lot. I'm trying to not put too much at the bottom because when I put it in, it's going to push it up. So, well, you know, farmers this year have struggled a lot too because for some reason, a lot of farmers that had government contracts were told to kill a lot of their crops. So they were on these government grants to have these monies to make these amazing crops to feed American people. And then all of a sudden they would be told, yeah, we want you to kill 28 acres or 130 acres. And they'd be like, what? Oh, yeah, there's going to be a surplus. We're not going to need that. Does it look like there's a surplus of anything except for inflation? No. Y'all, if I ever get banned off this platform, just come find me on Rumble or on Odyssey under the same name. I'll be out there because I ain't going to be quiet. If you know me, you know I ain't going to be quiet. This is not the America that we're supposed to be living in. It's not at all. When I'm getting better market service from China than I am from my own nation or something, you need to start worrying about that. Y'all, I did for my craft orders with Temu. Did you know I got $8 back this morning in price adjustments from I did a horrendous, like huge craft order. I mean, I spent some money, but I spent a whole lot less money than I would have spent if I'd gone to Walmart or Hobby Lobby. So, but on those orders that I did, every time if the price drops anywhere, they give me, I just have to go in and see that it's dropped and ask for a price adjustment. Do you know that I've made like $60 back on those craft orders? And I just use it to buy Haley baby stuff and send her baby stuff. The very same double capacity diaper warmer on Amazon that was like $34.98. I got the serial number, the brand, and everything. I went searching, found it on Temu for like $12. Same warehouse, same brand, same model, probably come out of the same state wherever it was packaged and shipped because I got it in like 4 days. Same. Now, why is there such a huge price discrepancy? And y'all, if you buy online through those apps, please use an interim payment method so that you have control and no one is getting your direct account numbers and stuff like that. I always do. I even do that with Amazon. I trust no one. I trust no one. And that may be a bad thing, but it works out to be a good thing most of the time. So I trust no one. I think I just need one more little bit of color right here. That just looks like it needs something else right there. So don't you tip over on me. You got glue. But I have been very irritated with watching, and like they had a huge riot in Philly. Was it last night? Not before last? Just stupid kids stealing stuff. Not even food. Just stupid stuff. I can have some emotion for somebody that's stealing bread and bologna. I don't have any emotion for someone stealing Jordans and earpods or iPod, whatever they're called, AirPods or whatever they're called. I don't have any sympathy for them. That is not a life necessity. That is not anything your children can put in their mouth and eat. No, don't even. But they had a huge riot and they wanted to blame it on some judgment. But it happened before the judgment was apparently announced or something. And I was like, now. And we cannot keep telling certain people that your behavior is okay while we're telling other people to do the same thing. Your behavior is not. We have to have law, and that's what they have completely destroyed in this nation. And that is why I say they're out to kill the culture, because that's how Rome fell. You change the vocabulary, you change the meaning of the words, which augments the rule of law, which augments the culture and takes it down. Okay, this is where I am with this. I think it's pretty. I'm going to stop there. I may try to find for Thanksgiving some little turkey funny, like cute, but not haha funny, but adorable turkeys to put in there as well. And then I'm going to take some moss to put down around the bottoms when I put it in the frog and put it in the, and if I need it. I may not need it because it may sit so squished down in there that it may push it up and it won't be seen. But that's the first one. And I like all the color. And the good thing is it's mostly glued or wired, so I can pop it off and put other things on and change it for seasons. And I think it's adorable. I think it's cute. I think it's very cute. And I like the stuff sticking out and the kind of the balance, but the abstract quality of it too. I'm one of those people. It doesn't need to be matchy-matchy. Matchy-matchy really irritates me to death, to be quite honest. I just have to say, it just, when things match, it makes me nervous because things are not meant to be perfect. Things are not meant to be perfect at all. So when things look perfect, I start looking around going, what's going on here? Who did that? That's not right. But I still think I will have enough left over to make that Charlie guy something. I just feel bad when you see somebody's grave that probably hasn't been visited in years. And y'all, this summer between the funeral and Mama's surgery and stuff, we kind of let the flowers get out of hand with us too. But we had so much going on. But to see somebody's grave that has not been visited in a year, it made me feel bad. I mean, he died in 1938. Now, he may not have any living family, but I felt bad, so I'm gonna make him something. And I've got a little frizzy off this tree I'm gonna glue on. Oh, and for my mods, YouTube has just notified me that you can do different timeouts, different time length period timeouts for people now. So if somebody is being a booger, we have different options for timeouts now. I think that's cute. I think it's a lot of color from front or back. You're going to see something, similar, and it's going to be pretty and catch your eye. Now all I have to do is make one that looks something similar to that so that they match. I can kind of go a little crazy on Uncle Dwayne's because he's sitting over there all by himself, and I can kind of add some different colors on him. But I want Granny's and Papa's to kind of match. And then Mom can do her colors for the swag, but the sides are my responsibility. And I wanted to add a little touch of me. But now I've got to make the other one that looks like it. Yeah, I do PayPal through that as well, and I always get reimbursed or something. Yeah, they're always watching out for me. Yeah, Cindy, always use an interim PayPal platform with anything, And they were on, like they've been having these big news things trying to scare people away from using Temu. My craft order alone was shipped in 10 bags, 10 or 12 bags. I had enough credit and points that it helped me win farmland. And I played the free gift games a few times just because, and I've gotten so close that they've sent me like free leggings and free shirts. I had a problem with the 4-tier little thing that I got to put in my bathroom. And since I was not happy, they were like, well, keep it. If you can find a way to use it, use it. We will send you back your money. And since you've been a valued customer and this is the first time you've had a problem, they also give me $20 Temu cash. They have treated me better than anyone, and I've not had any issues with PayPal or bank accounts or anything. Of course, I'm also very careful, but I think a lot of it is because Temu is forcing Walmart and Amazon. Dogs are howling. Temu is forcing Walmart and Amazon to have to look at their pricing on certain things. Like the sponges that I could get 2 in a pack at Walmart for $3.27, I can get 10 to 12 for $1.27. Now, how come I can get 10 times as many through Temu for a third of the price? But at Walmart, it cost me that much. Now, listen, I mean, I understand, but some of the stuff is coming from American warehouses because some of my stuff did not come through customs. So some of it's coming through American warehouses, which means American businesses are in on this. So don't try to guilt trip me, media. Ain't gonna work. But I just thought that was interesting that they're doing all these news stories to try to scare people. And I'm like, I've not had any problem. Matter of fact, it's been the best customer service I've ever experienced in my life. It has. I mean, if you have an issue with anything, I mean, you can buy garbage. You get what you pay for. You have to know what to buy and what not to buy. And you have to understand your measurements if you buy clothes, and you have to understand fabric and how it works on your body. And luckily, my mom was a seamstress and a sewer her whole life, so I understand that. So when I buy clothes, I look at what it's made of, if it will stretch, and what the measurements are. And then I'm like, nope, ain't buying that. And what I have bought, I have enjoyed. Matter of fact, I had on a beautiful shirt Saturday, if y'all saw it in that video, and that was from Temu. It was like $8, and it was gorgeous. Now, I've lost enough weight to when it came in, it was a little too big for me, but it was still very pretty. Still very pretty. And haven't had a problem with it. I've got quite a few little knicky-knackies and little pieces of jewelry. Like if I was 50 cents from something, I'd buy me a pair of stainless steel earrings because that's what I wear. I wear stainless steel. And I've not had a problem with any of those. Heck, won Kim a coffin-shaped rug and a coffin ring on one of the free gift games. I knew the first game I ever played, I played it forever, and I didn't think I was going to win. And lo and behold, I won. And what I won was the things that I picked out for other people. Because when I'm picking gifts, I'm like, oh, that would be cute. Oh, she would like that. Oh, that would look cute. And so I kind of go through my friends list in my head and kind of pick. And sure as shooting, the first thing I won was something for Kim. But she likes to celebrate Halloween, and she likes to really really do her house up scary. And so I gave her that coffin rug, and it came with a little coffin ring. And it was adorable. It was adorable, really well constructed. They had 3 sizes, and the one I got was the medium size. And she was tickled to death with it. I thought it was cute, too. It really was well constructed. And, but just the credits back and the price adjustments alone, the last 2 days I've gotten $11 back in price adjustments. And it does. You don't just get a price adjustment once. You can keep going back checking those orders, and when the price changes again for like 60 days or so, you can request another price adjustment. So if it keeps dropping, you get more money back. And I swear I got like $60 back off that craft order. I mean, it was a big craft order, but I got money back on it, so I ain't gonna complain. But they've been really good to me. Now they will hound you to death with, look at this opportunity today, or look what we found for you. And I just ignore it unless I need to shop for something. Some people can't do that, but I can. I just ignore it unless I need to shop for something. But they will hound you to death with links and stuff. But, I enjoy it. And it saves me money. And with, my daughter now pregnant with twins, finding that double diaper warmer that was the same serial number, brand, everything as the one on Amazon for $30-something, and it was like $12. That helped a lot, y'all. Little things like that help. Every penny helps. I found the twin onesie sets on there, way cheaper than you can buy it, anywhere else. The name brand wraps, kid holders, the wraps that you go around tying under and you've got the kids stuck to you. The name brand ones, like a quarter to a fifth the price that they sell it for on Amazon. So if I see something on Amazon that I really like, I go to the other places, and normally Temu is where I find it at the best price. Now, like when it comes to the baby swings and stuff like that, I'm buying them on Amazon because I want to, I've been researching safety protocols, stuff like that. So I found the ones I want, and I'm going to get them off Amazon. But heck, y'all, saving a buck here and a buck there adds up, especially in this economy. We all ain't as lucky as Hunter Biden to have bags of cocaine and crack whores internationally just waiting for us to roam through. He has certainly a enchanted little life there, doesn't he? That most of us will never really get to understand, thankfully. But the rest of us are pinching pennies out here just trying to live. My God, some of us are so tight we could whistle Dixie from the opposite end. And we have to be, because it's the only way we can survive. So, but I'm getting really tired of people not looking and not wanting to ask questions, not wanting to speak up, or being afraid to speak up. You're in America. If you're afraid to speak up, you're in the wrong nation. You're supposed to be able to speak up here. You're supposed to speak up loud. You're supposed to have a belligerent streak within you. It was bred into you. And you are supposed to challenge people. And even though we're a melting pot, we are a conglomerate of cultures, and therefore all the cultures must be respected, not just those that want to melt together, all the cultures. And we've gotten to where we are babying. Oh my God, I got on TikTok yesterday. I shouldn't have. TikTok is not a good place. It's not a good place. But I get on TikTok every once in a while to see what the crazy people are doing. I'm just going to shoot straight with you. I get on there to see what the crazy people are doing. And this trans person, I have nothing against trans people. But, okay, I'm disabled. There are days that I absolutely need help. I require aid to take a bath, to dress myself. And other days I do great. And y'all know it's a roller coaster ride with this disorder and my nerves and the nerve impulses and how I function and what I can do. And I've been fighting to do better, and I'm so proud of myself. But there are days that I literally need help getting dressed and getting to the bathroom. And yesterday was one of those days that I needed help about half the day until my body started coping better. And I got on TikTok, and me in the physical state I was in yesterday, I watched this healthy, young trans person go, you should really call a trans friend and ask them what you could do today to help them make their life easier. Whether it's doing their dishes, their grocery shopping, because we're handling a lot emotionally. Your sexual orientation and your gender identity are harder than everybody else's. This also has a sexual orientation and gender identity, because we're handling all those things too. And I just thought, my God, to think so much of yourself, that you're so special because of where you want to put your pee-pee, or where you want to let play with your meow-meow. What is the world coming to? Yes, I'm trying to be PG rated, but it's hard sometimes when you talk about certain things. But it's just like, what is this world coming to? And I thought, you think that's difficulty? Why don't you wake up in my world some days where none of your arms and legs work? To where when you talk, you stumble over your words when you're normally a very quick-witted speaker. You stumble over, y'all heard my speaking in my video last night. I was doing much better, but I was still stumbling. I stumbled right then. Just have the rug pulled out from under you one day and your body just stops working. But they were putting themselves on a platform as being more important and needing more physical, mental, and emotional aid than disabled people. Oh, that ticked me off. Because as far as I know, being transgender is not a disability. It's not. Now, if you have gender dysphoria and you're in treatment, it can be a mental health issue and possibly pending a disability. But if you're functioning and you're living your life, you're not disabled. And that just blew my mind. Laying there, feeling like a baked potato that could not do anything on her own yesterday. And I thought, how dare you? How dare you put yourself above people that are paraplegics and quadriplegics and people that have true, valid physical disabilities that hinder their lives. They don't win us any awards. We might get a close parking spot, but we normally get cussed out for parking in it. That made me mad. And I thought, honey, if you were about 2 foot from me, today would not end well for you. I mean, it made me mad. And I thought, where have we gotten off thinking that these things make us special? But when I get on here and I talk about trying to improve my disabilities or improve my impairments, I get berated and made fun of. You know, the trolls just pop out of nowhere. I don't really care because they don't bother me. But what a society we have to where we celebrate and have to go do the dishes of our trans loved ones because they're busy trying to look, like the other gender, because apparently that takes time and a lot out of you. There are days it hurts to wipe my own butt and I barely get it accomplished, And there are days that my hands don't work and I can barely get around. I felt like I was walking on all broken foot bones yesterday. It was bad. But when I saw that, I thought, has this person ever met anyone that is disabled? Probably not. Yes, Cindy, I think a lot of stuff or they buy them from the same wholesalers and they just jack the price up. I think I hear my FedEx man. I hope so, because if that's him, I really want to lay down when he's gone after I put the groceries up. I don't dare let Oscar go out and get a biscuit today, though, because I don't feel like crying at him to come back in. Oscar loves the FedEx and UPS men, and he would like jump in the van and leave with them if I'd let him. So I have to watch him. Because he has jumped in the van, and they've been like, Oscar, are you in my truck? My dog's way too trusting. Like, I'm seriously, he would jump in a white Chomo van. If they just give him one milk bone, he'd be in it in 5 seconds. He would not know. Bless his little pea-picking heart. But, oh no, I just got really frustrated with the world yesterday because I was in a bad place and I was trying to find positive things to bring myself back into a positive state. And I could not, for the life of me, find anything positive on the internet. And I thought, is this where we are now? I thought, is this where we are, to where we now have nothing positive to celebrate? We have nothing positive to talk about. We have nothing positive to say about each other. We have nothing positive to say about our world. We can't even get on and have watch somebody trying to improve themselves and overcome a neurological disorder. We have to make fun of them. And, and at this point, I just kind of say if America falls, which the Great Britain guy yesterday on Timcast said that now since that summary judgment was made, it meant that our legal system was, which it does, and then our nation was over. And I don't believe our nation is over, but I definitely believe that it means our legal system is Chocolate Creek without a popsicle stick. See, I'm being good. Trying. But it was yesterday was frustrating for me because I really needed to see positive things and positive people. And for the love of God, I could not find any. And so I was a bit frustrated yesterday. It's just a bit frustrating yesterday because I really needed positivity, and there was not a lot of positivity. There are certain things to stay away from on Temu that are just crap. And I watch a lot of people that do the Temu hauls. Like, I'm sorry, I've got the Monjero hiccups. But like, if I'm sitting here crafting or I'm sitting sewing at night, I will turn on Hauler Time, Hauler. She's terribly introverted, but she's terribly sweet, and she'll tell you the truth. So I like her. She's fairly new. I watch Twisted Gypsies, Temu hauls, even though she's a bit out there sometimes for me. Hauler Time last night, bless her heart, I wanted to just pat her. I just wanted to give her a hug because she had gotten a solar light for her stillborn baby's memorial area, which was terribly sweet. But she said, and she had put it together, and she goes, now I don't know, they must charge them before they get to me, but I've noticed that if I touch the solar panel, the lights come on. It's because you cover the solar panel and they think it's nighttime. And if they don't have UV rays going on them, they turn on. Is this the world we live in? Like, she's a terribly sweet woman, terribly introverted, has 5 children, terribly sweet. But she was sitting there and she would touch that. She'd be like, I don't know why it's not working now. And then she put her whole hand on, oh, there it goes. It's working now. Knock her up. You covered up the sun catcher. I'm just like screaming at the TV, going, please pay attention to what you're doing. Oh, Lord. Yeah, Temu hauls can be a rabbit hole, but I've learned what craft items not to buy and what craft items can be bought. It's really helpful sometimes in that aspect, and they'll tell you if they find trash. And so I'm like, okay, that's trash. Mark that one off the ever gonna try list. And lots of times if I'm thinking about buying a specific item, I will go and try to find somebody that's hauled it and to see what they thought about it, because I don't want to waste my money. So I'm a researcher at heart, so that's what I do. And I've honestly only ever, and I wasn't even really upset with the 4-tier storage thing. It's just that I thought maybe they had mislabeled it because it had paw prints instead of the dots that were on the picture. And I said, I just wanted to let you know it's got paw prints instead of dots. And they were like, oh my gosh, we're so sorry. And I was like, no, it's cool. It's just paw prints. I've got animals. It's not a problem. And they were like, oh no, that's a problem. That was not advertised correctly. And they gave me my money back and told me to keep the darn thing. And then said, for being so sweet about it, they gave me a $20 Temu cash because I've been such a great customer. And and I've had a couple things break. And I'll tell them that. They'll be like, keep it. And we'll send you a new one. And I can either get cash or I can get a new item. And so I just tell them to replace it. But they've been great to me. I can't fuss at them too much. I mean, I'm sure some people have had different experiences, but so far mine have been positive. And I know I'm not going to get something that I can be an heirloom quality gift off of Temu. I mean, good Lord have mercy. I mean, I'm not stupid, but it's nice to be able sometimes to go and, just find something, find a $150 set of earrings that goes with a shirt so you can have a special date night and feel like you put an outfit together, and not spend $12.99 at Walmart on something stupid, and not get stuck in Walmart buying Walmart. Because if I go to Walmart, I will buy the whole store. I really do have more control than that, but I get there and I'm like, well, I don't want to have to come back, so what else do I need to get? And then it's downhill from there, but if I just need something, I'll go and you just have to do a $10 order before they'll ship on Temu, and it's free shipping. So if I just need a little, bunch of craft stuff, as long as I need $10 worth of stuff, they send it to me for free. And I don't have to feel like I need to go down every aisle to make sure I don't have to come back the next month, because I hate Walmart with a passion. Like, I cannot tell you all how much I despise Walmart. Now, Sam Walton, I think, was a nice feller. I think he had a good heart and a good business model. His children suck. G-force suckage. They suck big time. Like, if they pass you on the highway, you're going to hear the suckage for 5 more miles. That's how bad they suck. And it's just greed, because they've got more money than 10 generations could ever spend, but they want more. They want more. They want more. I've got friends that when they run out of food, I say, come over, and I open my cabinets. What do you need? But now Oprah's asking you to send $5 to Maui. She could buy the island 5 times. She could repair everybody's home and not even miss it. But no, I need to get on TV and ask normal American people that are suffering right now to send money to these people. Oprah and The Rock have really fallen off the deep end, if you ask me. I think they've shown a lot of their true colors. I think a lot of her true colors were shown when she did the Harry and Meghan interview. And just as an afterthought, why have we still not visited the issue of Mr. Prince Andrew and all his philandering? Why are we still not moving on that? Hello? I mean, we have so much time and so much money to investigate private businesses and private land, but we can't go and actually take care of victims that have identified their attackers. No, we're not. Really? Because used to be crimes with victims were the priority in the justice system. It's not anymore. I know Epstein's people are still living high on the hog, but boy, if you disagree with Rachel Maddow, you just don't know where you're going to end up in court. And it's just like, this is not real. This should not be real life. Sadly, it is. And it is this way because good people have shut their mouths. Oh, I don't want to seem too ambitious to say something about that. I don't want people to think that that's all I'm concerned about. Hello, I'm concerned about my nation. I'm concerned about my country. I'm concerned about my grandbabies living in this freaked out world. And if you want to think I am an idiot and a butthole for that, you go right ahead. But I'm worried about future generations because I'll be in the ground here soon. Let's just, let's not. My life is a blink. But I have to think about all the little people that are going to come from the genetics that I created. And I am worried about them. And I will speak up for them. And I am going to raise holy heck for them. Because who else is going to? And as much as I want to say I respect certain people that are trying, the Republicans have control and they've done nothing. It's like teaching a dog to heel and then letting it piss on your leg. Jim Jordan, honey, you had your leg pissed on about 500 times now. When you going to man up and get some stuff done up there? Huh? When's it going to happen? Just asking. And that's just kind of how I look at things. And I think both parties are just as sorry as the other, to be quite honest. By the time you get up there to that level to have that power, you're all crooked as a dog's hind leg. I mean, we all know it. We're just most of us are too nice to say it, but I'll say it. You're crooked as a dog's hind leg. And we need to have a more open society that is not being as deceptive with our justice system and is not being as deceptive with our business law and is not being as deceptive with how they punish certain groups more than others. We are really turning into like the Phoenicians and the Romans almost overnight. And those were like two people that they thought were like, had braved the way and really created a positive way to live. And then, kaboom, almost overnight, they fell. Over stupid crap that's very similar to what's going on in our nation. And I'm like, has anyone read a history book? No, we rewrite them nowadays. We don't read them. We rewrite them. We're too lazy to read. We just have to rewrite them. It's frustrating, y'all. It's very frustrating. I'm about 2/3 the way done with the second one. And sadly, when I went to that thing Saturday, the man that invited David to come up there and do it, of course, David had to be somewhere else, so I actually filled in, and I was so proud that I was able to do it. And he was like, what if somebody comes by your booth and they don't like what you have here? And then they can move on. He goes, and how are you going to tell them to do that? Move on. He said, okay. I was like, I don't have a problem clarifying what I need to say. I will tell somebody, get your butt away from me. And he was like, okay, but luckily we were set up right by the TWRA, and they kept having to come over and use our booth to show stuff because they didn't have enough stuff. And I was like, just have Andrew grab it next time he's at the house. He's always at the house. He is. He's always here giving sites tags for bobcats and otters. I just thought it was funny that the TWRA didn't have enough stuff in their booth to show people everything. And I didn't mind at all to share. I mean, I was like, I'm all about making friends. Met the sweetest couple. Oh my gosh. Met the sweetest couple. And I hope to keep in touch with them. She's disabled. He is a sweetie pie. Loves her long as the day is. And Gypsy knows him if Gypsy's not asleep. I talk Gypsy to sleep sometimes. So, y'all, sometimes my mod falls asleep because I'm just so soothing. Statesboro is having a big attic sale this Saturday. Doggone it. I just wish my body would let me go more than it does. Now, I am going to be going back up just to visit Gypsy here soon because I want to help her finish her Christmas boxes. And because she has a lot of issues just like me, we understand each other. And when we just need to lay down a nap, we just look at each other and go, I need a minute. And we just go and rest. But she has dedicated herself to make so many boxes for the operation. It's a little shoebox thing. It's a specific mission that her church has taken on. And I'm going to go back and help her. She's doing some sewing and stuff. So I'm going to go back and sit next to her and help her do some stuff. and get that done and visit for a few extra days, and maybe if I feel good, do a little bit more thrift shopping, because there were so many shops that had such good baby stuff up there, and I was just like, whoa, gonna have to go back. Oh, that's a doozy if it's at the fairground. That's where they have the big mamba jambas. Oh, I got a compliment on my writing that I do volunteer for the newspaper as well. I had a lady, she's like, I always know it's your article. I can tell. She's like, you have such emotion-filled writing. And I was like, thank you. I was like, I really do try to put quite a bit in there. Thank you. And she's like, I always know when it's you, and I just love every one of them. And I was like, thank you. You know, I don't get out of the house a lot, so just to get one compliment, just, you know, I was a peacock for us today. I just thought I was it on a stick. Every once in a while, you just need to think you're it on a stick. But I thought that was so sweet of her, because, I mean, she's got a degree in journalism. I thought that was very sweet of her. That made my day. And I was around. I had Kim with me, and I had Gypsy with me, and Mom was there for like an hour and a half. I just had a really great Saturday experience. And I'm going to burn myself. And so, and I've had, you know, so many positive weeks. And then to have this pop up out of nowhere just kind of took the wind out of my sails. But you know, used to be when I had a flare, I was down for 5 to 10 days, and now they're like 3 to 5 days. This one's probably the worst one on a pain scale that I've had to deal with. Yes, I keep dropping everything because I can't pick it up. Yesterday, I full on cried yesterday because I was terrified that I was going into a big old flare that was going to end me up in the hospital. And David was almost scared to go to work, and because my body just fell apart that quickly. But I got through it and kind of willed myself to feel better. And I feel better today, but I still can't, still kind of slow and sluggish with my legs. And I still have to be careful when I'm reaching and doing, especially when I'm doing dishes and when I'm handling the cutlery. That can get a little hairy sometimes when you're having a flare day. So I have to be a little bit careful for a few days, but I'm able to do this right now, so that's a much better day than I had anticipated. So I'm very tickled and thankful that it wasn't as bad as it could have been, because it started out like one that the last time I had one like that, I ended up in the hospital. I don't enjoy the hospital. I despise the hospital. Oh, I love Habitat for Humanity stores. I used to always, there was a Knox area rescue. I'm just making a mess. There was a Knox area rescue mission that put a lot of my parolees and stuff in treatment. And so every time I would go through Knoxville to prosecute a parole warrant, I would stop at the Carm store and buy something from the Carm store, because I wanted to support the Carm store, because they supported my guys. And they had a Habitat for Humanity right beside the Carm store, and I would go in both every time I would go in one. And I loved them. And that's the closest Habitat for Humanity to me. And that's like 2 hours away, and I have 2 hours away. And it's between me and Knoxville. But I loved that Habitat store. You would find some really amazing cabinets and lighting fixtures. And I mean, you just find some good stuff. And they had really good prices. They were really sweet people. But I'd always stop at the Carm store first, because that was who helped my guys the most. And so I would try to support them first, and then I'd walk next door to the Carm store. So I'm just swirling this now and looking for my open spots where I want a little bit more color. And then I'm going to add my pumpkins, and I'll be done, I think. And then I'll have Granny and Papa's done, but I will still have to do Uncle Dwayne's. But I had to order a flower holder for him, because he didn't have a flower holder. He has a military headstone. He doesn't have a flower holder. And so I ordered a flower holder, and I may wait and put his out when that gets back, so I don't have to stick it in the ground and then worry about unsticking it and putting it back. And I may also yell at his daughter and see if there's something she wants to mail for me to put on it special. Because she lives toward Knoxville, and my little cousin, and we normally keep in pretty good touch with each other. So I thought I'd yell at her and see if she might want something particular on there for him. And if so, she can get it to me or tell me what it is and I can run grab it. So we tend to stay in communication really close with each other. So, ugh, I've got glue all over me. I did find out that my brother does have a YouTube channel. And if you want to go see my brother's content, it's TENN, Tennessee, 10 Hunt Family. And he goes up in like Alaska and Saskatchewan and goes hunting and stuff and posts his hunting videos. And he's a big old burly boy, but he looks more like Mom. He got Mom's olive complexion and pretty dark hair, and I'm Dad's Irish genetics to the core. So, but he does have a YouTube channel, and he likes for people to watch it, but now he will not tolerate trolls. You want to see somebody that's got a mouth on him, you make my brother mad. You will run away dragging your hind end because he don't take it. You think I got a mouth on me? Y'all ain't met my brother. You may not want to. He sure ain't scared to speak his mind. My parents, both of us were raised, and if y'all have seen my dad in the videos, y'all know we were raised to speak our minds. So we were raised to be competent adults. I think that's what I think is missing in today's society more than anything is competent adults. I don't think society raises competent adults. I think we have this prolonged juvenile mindset amongst society, and people just stay kids forever. And I'm like, you can't do that in the real world. Grow up, get a job, shut up. I was the most frustrated I think I've ever been on my job when I was an officer. I did home visits, and I had been telling this boy, listen, you've been positive for pot 3 times. The judge is like on his last heartstring with you. He's about done with you. And I said, you're going to have to get out and get moving and get a life and make something of yourself. I said, because the judge is about done with you. I said, you're going to go to prison. And I said, bless your heart. I said, you barely can't take care of yourself. And I said, you don't need to go to prison. And I said, so I'm going to do a home visit some point next week. I said, I want to see 3 employment applications that you put in. I said, just ask them for copies when you put them in. There's this one. I said, just ask him for copies. I give him till the end of the week, and I did my home visit. He was at 12:48 p.m. on the couch in his underwear playing Legend of Zelda. 33 years old. I went straight back to the office and did a warrant. That irked me so bad. He couldn't go and put in employment applications, but he could sit there and play Legend of Zelda in his underwear. And he still lived with his mom and dad too. And I was just like, no, I'm sorry. I can't tolerate it anymore. Did a warrant. And I did a warrant. And I said, I'm sorry. I said, but I tried. Okay, so I have these done. They're slightly different, but mostly the same. Granny's has got a little bit more peach on it. Papa's is a little bit more bold, but they match, but there's distinct characteristics between both. Granny's has got a little bit more of the peach in it, and Papa's is a little bit more yellow and bold. And I wanted to do that just to have a slight difference between them, male, female. And they're a couple, but it matches, but it's still unique enough for each of them. So now I'm going to do, I've got plenty left over, so I'm probably going to go ahead and put Uncle Dwayne's tree together and get it put together, but I won't glue anything onto it until I talk to his daughter, and then I'll see what I've got left, and I'll try to make Charlie something, because I feel really bad that man does not have something on his gravestone. And he was in the Army. He's a veteran. He needs something. Yeah, my mother says I don't have a backspace, edit, or anything. She's like, you don't have a filter, you don't even have a backspace or edit key. But I really think it's the best way to be. Yeah, we have a lot of parents that are not parents, and they were raised in the touchy-feely parenting I call it the Hug-a-Thug program for parents, where you baby your children so much that they turn into little narcissistic turds, and they think that the whole world is there for them. I can't stand that. And so yeah, that irritates the crap out of me too. And that, yeah, we do have a whole group, and we have more grandparents raising the new generation than parents raising their own kids. That irritates the far out of me. And so you had a lot of kids taking advantage of the senior status of their caretakers or their people that were their authority figures. And that irritated the crap out of me. I saw that at that wilderness boot camp that I worked at. But, we have a lot of stuff to fix in this nation. I have a lot of stuff to fix in my life. We've all got stuff we need to fix in our worlds. But if we don't come together and say, hey, something, we really, we really left the gate open on this social crap that we're dealing with now. We need to hem up the rogue heifers. We're not going to have a society where people can go out and even function. We're just, the assault rate, if you look at the stats for the courts all across the nation, each state is up like 40 to 70% in simple and aggravated assaults. Domestics are up, and it's just like they're trying to make us unhappy, because when you're unhappy and you're in fear, you're easily manipulated. Because when you don't think you have anything, you don't stop and ask for what is handed to you. You just take it and you go. Well, I'm the person to go, why are you giving me that? What am I going to have to do for it? What do you want back in return? Other people won't. They'll just rip you on off, take it. And that's what the government is counting on, is that we will become so needy that we will take any help and do anything, become anyone, vote any way, just to get a little bit of something, And if they ever fully digitize our cash, we're screwed, because then they can shut us down. You want to travel, you want to leave this nation, freeze your accounts. You ain't going anywhere. Set up 15-minute cities, not allow you to travel more than 5 miles from home. Freeze your assets if you buy Pepsi Cola or gas more than 5 miles from your house. Freeze your assets. And people think, oh, this is a great thing. I don't have to keep cash on hand. And no, it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. And they say they're wanting to make these windmills, and the green crap is more harmful to this world than coal. That's why the Ukraine and Russia and China are building like 14 coal factories amongst each other every week, because they know that our electric is getting so outlandishly expensive that we are going to bottleneck and screw every civilian up very soon by trying to turn everything green. It is an impossibility. You cannot go green. There is no way you can live in this world without taking advantage of fossil fuels. And the thing about those stupid windmills is when they break down, you can't revamp them. You can't reuse them. It's nothing of nature that can be returned to the soil. It is just like a graveyard of toxicity. And the lithium batteries that everybody's going gaga about, they last longer. They're better for the environment. Yeah, and there's 5-year-old kids dying from digging that crap out of the soil, because the people that want to make money off of it hire children, have slave labor, and don't care if those kids get toxicity poisoning and die. But you want your lithium batteries, and it's... Nobody takes time to research and understand that they're lying to you when they say these things. They just want your vote and your support because they've got money bet on it. That's why half of our congressmen and senators and prime politicians have children that work in these nations that we're having these big deals made with. It ain't because it's a good thing for our nation. It's because it's a good thing for their pocketbook. And I'm sorry, but I have a problem with that. I have a problem, because you have one job, politicians, and that is to think about your citizens and protect your nation. And if you're not doing that, you need to go home. Sit on your thumbs, because that's about as useful as you are. So that's the mood I've been in here lately. And I tried to find something positive all day yesterday, couldn't find it. And then you see the the news media is just trying to create fear or trying to create division. No one's doing any research. No one has even cracked a real estate law book. No, we're just going by what Rachel Maddow tells us. You know, we believe these people, you know, that we don't know the background on. You know, but we can't be bothered to read more than 2 sentences of a newspaper article or a column, you know, and we certainly can't be bothered to read an opposing viewpoint, because then we might have to do more research to stabilize our own viewpoint, and that's just too much work. Yeah, I get really irritated with people. I know I felt really bad for Charlie too, so I'm going to make him something, because y'all know me, I can't not. Once I saw it, it stuck in my head, and I feel sorry for him, and I'm like, he deserves somebody to remember him, and he deserves to be appreciated still and respected. And so I'm going to have to make him something. So it's just, if I had roamed the whole rest of the cemetery, I'd have probably found 5 more to do, because my husband's like, would you stop? You're just going to make a to-do list. And I'm like, I know. But we called in 3 things that they went and fixed, and they were great about it. And the caretaker knows my name. I was not happy. That was not appropriate. That was not called for. That was so, the one lady's grave had sunk. And I know it was in the old part of the graveyard. I know that graveyard has got some old spots. That it was just so inappropriate for her grave to be in that state. And it was so bad that's why I didn't video it to show you all, because I felt it would have been disrespectful to her and her family. And I don't know if she's still got any family or not, but I called in through a heinous fit. And luckily, the funeral home is great. And they were like, oh, yeah. They're like, we'll report this. And they're like, we'll come out and we will actually bring our machinery, and we will repair this, immediately. They're like, we can't allow this to occur either. And I was like, thank you so much. But I felt really bad. And y'all, when I bite onto something, I'm like a snapping turtle. It's going to have to lighten or thunder before I let go. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, we don't even see electric cars, because we have one charging station, but it's like 4 hours in between them. So legit, nobody ever comes up here. And if they do, they get hauled away on a diesel. I'm just saying, don't tell me to buy a Pinto when I need a Clydesdale. Doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. But not everybody has the forethought to think that, not all roads go through urban, well-maintained areas. And honestly, I think the cities, I'm eating a gnat or something. I think the cities, oh, thank you, are finally going in there. I think the cities have been the downfall of America. Because if you look at the cities, they are falling apart. And it's just people that live amidst so many people stop caring about interaction with people. It's like, if you see ducks every day, you don't think a duck is special. But if you're a kindergartner that's never seen a duck and you see a duck, holy crap, that duck is special. And I think that's just kind of, we've gotten to a place where people in cities take other people for granted. They take other people's lifestyles and other people's way of living for granted. And they think, if you don't live like me, then, why should I care about you? Well, because it takes a diverse group of people to traverse such a large nation and maintain it and have the culture and everything survive. We're all needed. But I'm not seeing that from the cities. I'm seeing a lot of hate from the cities. And so I really wish that we would put some extra social programs. And I know you're sitting there thinking, they have plenty of programs, but they don't have any agricultural knowledge programs in the city. They might learn how to grow a turnip or an onion or a tomato, but they don't understand the basis of farming and why it's necessary, how it affects the rest of the world, not just that they get a free tomato sandwich once a week when they grow their one tiny tomato. but that how families in states, put this up and rely on it in storage all winter for food. And how some people only go to the grocery store once a month. They don't go to the store every day. They don't stop and get a Frappuccino every day. And because country people have to go to the city, obviously, for specialist appointments. We have to go into their world, but they don't necessarily have to come into ours. And if they do come into ours, they can always choose to come into the bed and breakfast, no stress on you portion of the country, to where we make it look like an ideal Instagram post, and it's not. It's work. Living in the freaking country is work. So I think we need to have some more like rural appreciation programs in urban areas. Because I think that a lot of disrespect comes from there. Oh, those self-driving cars creep me out. Now listen. And they keep saying we need more AI. No, we don't. No, we don't. No, we don't. We don't need anything else that's going to make us any less necessary than we already are. Because we're pushing it right now with being unnecessary. I've just to be quite honest, I've met very few people that I thought had a positive impact on the world, and that scares the crap out of me, because you would think that if you've got one life to live, you would want to have a positive impact. Y'all, you would want to have a positive impact on the world. I see people that have no motivation to have any positive impact on anyone or anything. And I don't understand that. I don't understand that. I know we're not all the same, but social interaction is something that every person relies on for mental health. And it scares me that we are going so far away from social interaction, peer-to-peer relationships. It scares me. Oh, yeah, it's just another way to track them and search them and be able to shut down their vehicles. And yeah, I agree, 110%. Yeah, it scares the crap out of me. What really scares the crap out of me is people don't look at it that way. They don't see that. And I'm like, really, you don't see the danger there? You don't see the danger there. You don't see the control mechanism there. And that's what scares me the most, is that that has almost been bred out of us. That sixth sense of danger, abort mission, Will Rogers. I'm going to have to turn my AC back on in a minute. It's getting flipping hot in here. I'm going to put the leaves on, and then I'm going to wait and see what she wants for flowers. If she wants to put something special on there, I'll let her mail it to me. But, yeah, I've ran into so many people that just do not see it. And I'm just like, how do you not see it? And especially if you read history or you've studied history at any length, how do you not see the similarities to all the falls of these other cultures, these other societies, and what is coming down the gangway for us? How do you not see it? And, ignorance is bliss. Maybe people just really want to be blissful. I don't know. I would rather struggle and know the truth as to be ignorant and never know the truth of what's going on in this world. I would rather struggle and know the truth than to be ignorant. Okay, let me tell you something about huffing, okay? Because when you huff, and I had a lot of people on probation that had this horrible habit, when you huff, you actually kill brain cells each time, and the damage that does, those materials do, cannot be undone. So the brain cells that you kill, you cannot regenerate, and they can never be regenerated. You literally make yourself stupid. Legit, make yourself, glue string. Legit, you kill your brain in small increments, and you make yourself stupid. And you tell people that, and they'll still go do it. And that's a child that has seen an adult do it and has done it because he's seen it done. Y'all, we've got a problem. And I think the biggest problem in this world is nobody's turning to the Lord. Nobody's repenting. Nobody's holding themselves accountable. And people are just out for what they can get. And normally when you're out for what you can get, you are just an easy target for Satan. Just an easy lollipop target for Satan. And you say, oh, I don't believe in that. Okay, well, good and evil. It doesn't have to be God and Satan. It can just be good and evil. You make yourself a very easy target for hate and negativity. Energetically, you gyp yourself so massively. So massively. It's scary that people just don't even seem to pay attention anymore to it. They just think it's normal. This is normal. You know, it's only normal because you allow it to be normal. If you started thinking it wasn't normal, we could probably make it not normal again. But that takes cojones, and I don't know many people with them, so. Yeah, they'll shoplift and they'll track them off the store and have facial recognition. I mean, you can find how many people at the Capitol, but you can't find somebody that was on 5 minutes of film at Walgreens? Are you flipping kidding me? You flipping kidding me? I know how that crap works. And it's all because we have turned into a society to where it is a choice to prosecute now. It's a choice. Is it going to be a political positive or a negative? And it has become a choice to prosecute. No, it should never be. If a criminal thing has been, and they're changing the law so that they can take more stuff and it's not a felony. So instead of snapping down harder on them, oh, we really don't want to have to waste our time on this. So let's just raise the felony limit by $500 so that we don't have to prosecute these people. And that'll save us all this time, because then these shop owners won't be able to report this and it won't chew up our time. And we can go after politicians that don't like us, or politicians that might win a vote. Stupid. If all the rules are not followed, your society will crumble. If those in control, if those in places of power are not held to high standards, your nation will crumble, because they are the example by which your nation is to adhere. And I don't get it that people don't understand that. And that's why crooked cops have such poor impacts on their areas. That's why bad medical doctors have such bad impacts on their areas. And that's why when you hear a positive story of someone that did something good, it makes you feel elated and gives you a serotonin and dopamine boost, because we know that is what needs to be done. We need to be positive. We need to have positive interactions. We need to do good things for others. And we see it and we feel it, but we fail to go out and then replicate it in our own daily lives. And that's laziness. You should be out there trying to be an example and a role model, but nobody wants to be. It's too much work. I'll put 4 hours of makeup on to do one YouTube video, but it's too much work to be a good person in society. It's just, the world is crazy. People are stupid. You know, and a lot of these people that do these heinous things, they get to their deathbed before they really feel sorry. Oh, I'm hurt now. They get to their deathbed before they really feel sorry. And you can repent on your deathbed. Don't get me wrong. As long as you're breathing, the good Lord will make amends with you if you go out to him, if you cry to him. But I hope he smacks you in the back of the head so hard that your grandchildren feel it. Because doggone it, we need to change the world we're in. And we all can't wait till we're 90 and then say, oh, I'm sorry, you know. And let me tell you what, if you don't have a truly repentant soul, you ain't getting into glory. So I think a lot of people think they're going to live a life doing what they want, and they think their last minute they're going to get into glory. And I think a lot of people are going to be a little disappointed when they start to wade the Jordan and nobody reaches a hand out to help them across the water. That's just my perspective. You know, and it hurts me to think that there's so many people that are have been pushed so far from religion and from having a personal relationship with a higher accountability source, because they try to make out being spiritual religious as some kind of defect these days. Don't get me wrong, there are plenty of religions that are defective. Holy crap, yeah, they are. But having an accountability to a higher power, it always makes you a better person. Because if you become the end all be all in your world, your ego, it becomes a dangerous thing. You start to have sociopathic and psychopathic tendencies depending on how you are mentally established and kind of built at that point. And it's dangerous, and it also affects society, because it normalizes that behavior, and society becomes comfortable with seeing this behavior. We should never become comfortable with seeing these types of behaviors toward other human beings. We should never become comfortable. But people do, and that's scary. Oh yeah, a lot of people sit at home and they think the news is not real, and surely that's being exaggerated. But to be quite honest, a lot of it is being minimized so that they can, kind of bulldoze this and get away with it and have it so well in place by the time we become aware that there's no way good people can undo what's going on. So, I really don't want to know how many years we've been lied to. I used to watch the news with my grandma and granny and grandpa and stuff, and I used to think that they had such trust in the broadcasters. And I used to think, well, these people obviously wouldn't lie to us. And then skip to my generation. No. Everything is an opinion piece now. There's no actual factual media anymore. Everything, even for conservative, it's all opinion pieces now. It's not factual, evidentiary, empirical data. It's just opinions and how to sway that opinion to fit your desire, your side. I know, you never know what is true. That's why I'm saying I read a lot of other countries' news media and mail and smaller newspapers and stuff that are free online. I know it sounds crazy, but I will get a VPN just to sneak over and check and see what another country's saying about us. Because normally it has a lot of truth in it, because they don't have to lie to get their lobby money and votes, and they don't have to lie to anybody. They don't have to make anybody happy. They just say what they want to say and go on with it. So I watch a lot of India and a lot of Australia, because Australia is FUBARD as FUBARD can be, but at least they will also call out the other FUBARD nations and give them points for that. But I watch a lot of the other nations' news and media and try to get the perspective that the world has on us, because let me tell you what, people, they don't think nothing of us no more. America ain't got no place of respect in any nation anymore. We have become a laughingstock. And I'm sorry, but I understand why we have become a laughingstock. When you can Google and see your president's son's behind and him doing illegal things, how do you come back from that? Seriously, how do you come back from that? How do you expect any nation to respect us, and we can't even get our president to answer questions and be honest with his own people? I'm not sure he could answer questions at this point. But it's just a scary thought. It's a scary thought to how much we've been hoodooed. It really is. Boy, I've used the heck out of these flyers. I've gone a little crazy. I really have. But it's for people I love, so I don't mind. But I am going to make Charlie something. I have a little wreath. I may make him a little wreath and hang on that little thing, because it made me sad to see that nobody had been there, and it was just full of cobwebs and spider webs. They had been there I brushed them off, and they'd been there for a while. So I will make Charlie something. And I'll take pictures when I place them out because that bothered me that he had not had anything placed on his grave in so long. That really bummed me out. Now, because Uncle Dwayne only has one option of decoration, I am going to kind of glam his up a little bit. And then I'll call Megan and see what she may want to put on it. But I'm going to put a little extra, maybe a little extra pumpkin or something on here. It's just because he's kind of all alone over there. So, makes me feel better. My back, y'all. I'm going to have to lay down after this. I've used way too many muscles, but I needed to get this done. They need to be put out. Ugh, now I'm glued to everything. And he's got a sparkly pumpkin over there. I'm going to use this little muted pumpkin on Charlie's thing, I think. Ow. My back. Hang on, let me stretch. I've got my back muscles are trying to contract and freeze. Feels like back labor. Oh, you gotta love neuromuscular disorders. They're just the gift that keeps on giving. Now, where is this sucker gonna live? Where are you gonna live? You gonna live here? No, I think you need to live up here. Yeah, you'll live up there. I'm about to run out of glue. Oh, I got plenty more of it. I'm about to run out again. So I read a lot of, I'm here to tell you though, if you really want to check out a nation that will just talk trash and 9 times out of 10 it's true, India. They don't give a rat's patootie. They will just say what they want to say and let you know how they feel. And that's one thing I do like about them. And so I will read their news media a lot. And I learn a lot of stuff. Like, that's the only nation reporting on Trudeau's plane being hit at the G27 or G7, whatever it was, by the drug dogs. That's the only nation reporting on Trudeau's plane being hit by the drug dogs. So much respect, India. I appreciate it. Okay, here's the one I did for my Uncle Dwayne. I put a different ribbon on it, and I made it a little bit more colorful, a little bit more gaudy, because he's over there by himself. So I thought he needed a little extra. You know, you have to stand alone. You need a little more extra. You know, I actually think it could do with one more little sprig of something right here. But I just needed to get up and feel useful today because yesterday was a rough day. So this is how I chose to get up and feel useful today. And I have to start doing a little something so that I can see how my body's going to be Saturday. So if I'm moving pretty good tomorrow and Friday, I have the hopes that I will be able to go to the thing Saturday with David. If not, I'll have to stay home. It is just dependent upon my body right now. So I'll keep you up to date. But I've got all 3 of these done. I'm gonna make something for Charlie, but I'll probably just put a picture on the community page when I get that done, because I think I may rest a little bit before I do that because my back is really hurting right now. And it's probably going to be a little wreath because I can hang that up there and wire it up there, and I can make it double-sided when it hangs so that it'll be seen from both sides. So I think I'm going to make Charlie a wreath. So I'll post that on the community page. I appreciate you spending time with me because I just garble, and this has just been like a rant, political, medical, disability, brain vomit. And sometimes I just need to do that, especially when I've been doing so well. And then I woke up yesterday, like hit a wall and with my body like at 99 miles per hour. And it scared me because I had done so well for so long. And then I had not had such a huge attack in so long. Not since Gypsy had visited me, and that attack scared her. And I'm sorry that I scared you, Gypsy. I didn't mean, she saw me go through an attack and it terrified her. It didn't mean to scare her. It just, I had done a lot that day and my body shut down. And so yesterday, it had been that long since it had done it to that capacity, and it scared me. And it really kind of rocked my world and mentally kind of tossed me back. And it was kind of like a trauma response. It was a trauma response, let's just be honest. Because this disorder, when it does really hurt me, it can incapacitate me for days to weeks at a time. And I was really scared that I was fixing to lose all the work and all the legwork that I'd made in the last year of physical therapy and weight loss. And I was terrified. So I was crying, and I was not in a good place yesterday. I was terrified. And I had to try to get myself calmed down and in bed and distracted and refocused and on something else that I wouldn't overkill my central and sympathetic nervous systems, because that's what is messed up anyway. So yesterday was a hard day. So if you could send me some good vibes, I'd appreciate it. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Des. I appreciate that. You have a good day too. I really appreciate y'all. Thank you, Jules. Yeah, and I'm hoping tomorrow will be an even better day. I'm really trying. I'm fighting this really hard. And I've still got some muscle groups that are wanting to pull and constrict and stuff. So I'm going to take the next 2 days pretty easy, but test myself to see if Saturday I can at least go and sit in a chair, because I do want to be able to visit with people I haven't seen in 6 or 7 years. So I'm just really looking forward to it. So I really want to make it happen if at all possible. My nurse is coming by tomorrow to check on me and just double check to make sure I'm still doing okay. So thank you, Des. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm not going to do much. I've already got dinner made. I did all that when David was here. So if I had a problem, he would be here to help. I don't have really anything else to do. I might sit and sew a little bit and watch some TV, if that's about all I'm going to do. But I wanted to share this with y'all because I know I had a really good response to my cemetery ramble, which I thought was very strange, but you all seem to really enjoy. So I wanted to share the crafting process with y'all. And when I place them, I'll take pictures as well. When I get Charlie's done later, I'll put a picture up as well. But thank you for spending time with me. Y'all have a good rest of your afternoon. Try to stay positive and make sure that you are always challenging your own beliefs and thoughts, and that when someone else comes along with another one, that you don't just like knock it down, but you kind of absorb it and think about it and then challenge your own thoughts and that thought. Make sure that what you believe is what you believe, and you know why you believe it, and you can talk about it with somebody, because we are losing the ability to communicate in this nation, and that is what is greatly needed. So thank you all for spending time with me and listening to me trying to communicate with you. And I'll be back in a couple of days. If not, hopefully Saturday, I will have a video of the Saturday event if I'm able to go. So just toss me up some prayers, and I'll let you know how I'm doing, keep you posted, and I'll post pictures later. Thanks, guys. I'll see you later. And now Oscar's like, it's potty time. Bye, guys. You got Popeye?